Who said Jake Paul's got power? It's like he's hitting him with a feather duster, like, you know, just flicking it in his face. It does make you question them wins he's had, where he's hit him with one shot and they fell on the floor like they've been tasered. Can you imagine that being my dream fighting, my biggest payday? Fighting a clown. Jake Paul don't know what to do with himself when he's under pressure. You know, he's on his back foot looking at the floor, probably closing his eyes. It's fair to say he's absolutely useless, isn't it? Jake Paul. He can't fight, can he? I reckon looking at that, how many rounds do you think I need to beat Jake Paul? Seriously, 2 rounds or a round? 1 round? Is that the end of Jake Paul now or what? He's absolutely useless.
Those are the words of Carl the Cobra Froch and his reaction of Jake Paul being defeated by Tommy Fury. And of course, this is a time where it's convenient to rub it in. Really, really much so. Rub it in real good. He said he caught him with a feather duster-like punch. And I think he's referring to the punch in round 8, where Jake Paul did dash, because Jake Paul was doing like this dashing jab. And it kind of landed kind of like that Deontay Wilder punch that hit Alenius. It was kind of upward. It wasn't, you know, the fist wasn't properly formed to land the shot right. Now, imagine if he would have landed a straight jab, that probably would have hurt Tommy a lot more. And him saying he can't punch, I don't believe that. I think he has some heavy hands. And I think because he punched wrong and the effect of Tommy Fury going down with an improper punch shows that this guy does have punching power. Now, skill, no. You could see the difference in skill between Tommy and Jake. But even Tommy looked novice, and he showed you he wasn't where he needed to be because he should have got Jake out of there. You know, sometimes he tried, but he really threw the same combinations, the 1, 2, 3, then 4, then 5 to the body. I mean, anybody that knows boxing would have picked up on that. This guy goes 1, 2, 3, then shots to the body. You know, and then if that's your go-to, you could wind up getting countered easily. Okay? But you have to know the timing, and you have to have experience in doing so. And Jake Paul never caught up on it. He relied a lot on his right hand. And a lot of times that right hand didn't land the way it's supposed to, because Tommy Fury cuffed those big-ass shoulders, those Jean-Claude Van Anthony Joshua shoulders he has, you know, to cuff that punch, which was smart because he needed to cuff that punch, you know, and ricochet it off. A lot of times it hit him on his temples. And, you know, again, a lot of people can't take temple shots. So you have to keep in mind and give Tommy Fury credit for taking those temple shots, okay? Because, again, we know a lot of people can't take those shots. You know, some people can take it on the chin, but not the temple. So, Carl Froch continues, well, hey, how many? 1 round, 2 rounds? Well, now, you know, I think Jake Paul has Tommy Fury problems, right? On top of moral betting problems as well. However, I do think, you know, someone like Carl Froch would stop Jake Paul. And I think him just seeing it, convincing him even more so than it did before. Now understand, nobody has confidence like Carl Froch. Nobody does, really. But at the end of the day, you know, Carl is, you know, a professional. He is a former champion, and he is a Hall of Famer eventually. And he, you know, a guy being that age at 45, I believe, and he hasn't fought since he was 37, 38. Listen, some things and some habits die real hard, but then sometimes they die, you know. But I do think Carl Froch, you know, because he doesn't look like he's like a Ricky Hatton or a Princess Med or someone that let's just let themselves go. No, he's a guy that stays in, you know, he has to stay on the air, stay on television. He's a commentator, so he has to stay with a particular image. So saying all that, like Andre Ward, a guy that beat him, right? One of the first guys that beat him, or maybe the second, you know, has to stay in shape as well. So these guys know they're in front of camera, you know, constantly. So he's in shape. But is he in fighting shape? But then the question is not that if he's in fighting shape, is he in good enough shape to beat Jake Paul? Because I don't think you need that type of shape to be in like other fighters and you should be training for. But you guys tell me what you think of Carl the Cobra Froch in front of 80,000 fans responds to Jake Paul's defeat. And I'll leave you with this. He was right. Jake Paul did close his eyes. You know, but to be fair, a lot of fighters like Marco Antonio Barrera used to do the same thing, you know, coming in, their eyes would be closed, you know. So, you know, that's not an uncommon thing, especially when you're engaging in combat. But anyway, you guys, please subscribe, and you all been Counterpunch. Peace.